Hi, I'm Euge Valovirta, and this one is about EVH Striped Series 78 Eruption. Before we listen the song of the video, which is from my second solo album called Pasadena 78, it's my homage, my nod to the greatest one, King Ed, and to Van Halen, and I guess to this guitar now also. I'm gonna check out a video from EVH website and from the YouTube channel where Chip Ellis from EVH Guitars shows how Ed set up his guitar back in the day so that it would stay in tune when doing die bombs and stuff. Because this is a replica of that guitar, so there's no locking tuners, locking tremolos, nothing. It's old school. So I played this now for a few hours. I borrowed this from a great music store, Musics. This will be on sale on their website. Check out the link in the description below, and it will be set up by me. So I'm gonna do that first, then we listen the song, which I'm gonna, re-record with this guitar and only one guitar now. And then we'll go through the specs and some of the tones, and I will also compare this a little bit to my EVH Frankie, the Frankestein, which was this guitar. It just painted it, added Floyd Rose, different neck obviously with the Floyd Rose nut and stuff. So, but anyway, welcome to my workshop. If you saw my previous video about the Floyd Rose FU tone upgrade from my N4, I already done the same to my Frankie. It's absolutely great. So I'm gonna take these stock strings off. This is 9042 set. Quite impossible for me to play. It's so spongy and loose. And this is now in E, or was in E. I'm gonna put this in the true fashion, E flat. The Pasadena 78 song, it was released, the original version is in standard E, but this current 2023 version with only one guitar, it will be in E flat. So I need to replay or re-pitch the bass again. But anyway, Chip Ellis is here. Strong recommendation. Watch this video so you'll know how to do it. I've already watched it. This will take some time because it's not a, it's a process, but once you do it, the guitar will be so much better. So I will now follow Chip, set up this guitar like edited. The 9042 set is off. I'm gonna save these so you can have these also with the instrument if you want. And I'm gonna put a DR tight fit 10 to 52 set to this guitar because that's the set I use in standard E flat and D tunings. Heavy bottom, light top, works great.
Spring screws, we're going to tighten all 6 screws until they're firm against the base plate of the organ.
Okay, polish the nut slots. It isn't actually nacho. This is fretboard lemon roll, but I've used this before. It works on this one too. I don't have the nut sauce at the moment, so this actually works pretty fine too. Alright, now I pull the strings like instructed, so hopefully you can see they go pretty much, the line is about straight, so it was really important thing. So low E string, 2.5 wraps are up. Well, I have 2 now. A, 3 wraps up, that's 3 wraps. D, 3 and 3.5, well, I have 3, almost 4 wraps up the post. B, 3 wraps down, well, I think I have like 3, it's 3.5 maybe, high E 4 wraps down. That's 4 wraps down the post. So different strings, you put this up from the hole, the amount of wraps, you know, instructed there, and the B and E string you put down from the hole, down from the post. And I'm gonna do some serious, you know, string bending, and I'm not talking like this, but like really bend the strings. And I'm bending here and also from behind the nut to minimize all movement. Okay, since I'm using now heavier strings, I'm pretty much maxed with the claw, so I need to put a third spring like I usually do. And I just adjusted the neck. So how I do it, pinky where the neck meets the body, and then here on the first fret, and then when you tap, the way I like it, that there's slight amount of space there, so I'm able to do Morse coding. Okay, then I'm gonna set the string height. So I think these are a bit too low for my taste, and you know, the sustain, they rattle a little bit. So let me adjust that, and then the intonation, and then we're gonna play some rock and roll. Okay, string height done, and I do this always just by a feel. But I've been doing this for quite a few years, also professionally, so I'm pretty sure that it's 1.75 and 2. Let's see. 1.75 high E, 1.75 B, 1.75 G. Between 1.75 and 2, the D string, A string is 2, E string is, that's actually 225. I could actually put it a little bit down this. Let's check the neck, really. Yeah, it's good. So I'm gonna put the low E and A string a tiny bit down. Okay, let's check where I ended up. 2, B is a bit up. Okay, so I need to intonate this. Yeah, now it's ready to rock and roll. The gear I'm using, the guitar, straight into 1987X Marshall Plexi, everything on 10, except the volume 2, because I'm plugged into the first channel. Then into Marshall 9060BX cabinet with greenbacks, mic'd with a Sennheiser E906, and the other cabinet is Marshall Vintage cabinet with the Marshall Vintage speakers, the original V30s, that I'm micing with a SC Electronics VR1 ribbon mic, and their guitars are panned, the tracks left and right, only one guitar, a little bit harmonizer on the right to make it even wider, tiny amount of soft tube tape delay. That's it, rock and roll. noodling, because, you know, Eruption 78. Eruption 78. I hope that I don't need to cut this out, because I sometimes do these Van Halen videos where I played the Eruption and the YouTube algorithm claimed that it was from actual Van Halen's Tokyo Live album, so I couldn't use that. So if that section is cut out or shortened, that's the reason, and that's the reason I didn't play it like on the album. Maybe I was able to cheat the YouTube algorithm. But yeah, anyway, the guitar, yeah, the song, like I said, it's from my second solo album, Shooting from the Hip. The song called Pasadena 78, and I'm actually making a third solo album at the moment, with vocals. That's a little bit more in that No Rest for the Wicked, No More Tears, John Sykes, 1987 style. But let's get that back. Let's get into that in due time more. So I ended up actually putting these springs like this. I felt it retained back better to the tuning like this. So instead of, because Eddie uses these two, I needed to put one because I use a bit heavier strings. Because I think he used 0 to 42, 9 to 42, at least this one had, and I put it a 10 to 52, which is a bit heavier. The specs, it's a basswood body, a relic EVH Wolfgang pickup. I guess the relic only means that it looks old. Maple neck with 22 jumbo frets, brass nut, basic tuners, no locking, and then this is Fender bridge, it says Fender here, with a big brass block, more sustain, and it's straight to the body. This is made in Mexico. It's really cool because it's really kind of like, I mean, obviously I haven't played with Eddie's original, but this feels like an old guitar, and all these are kind of like authentic stuff. So really cool. Kind of the brass makes it kind of bang, this almost like a clanky sound. Like you heard now, it's pretty much in tune, even though I did some dive bombing and stuff. So thank you, Chip. It works. Obviously, it doesn't stay in tune as well as a Floyd Rose bridge, but I have the phaser off. Now it's just the Plexi. Everything's 10. The cab or the cabinets are there in my, workspace, but the whole house is rumbling because 50 watt Plexi, it's loud. But gotta go with the, Eddie used 100 watt, which is even louder, but he used a Variac to tame down the volume down. I have a Variac too, but I'm not using it now. I felt it was actually kind of today I prefer more without a Variac. Everything just on 10, insanely loud. Rock and roll. it stays fairly. I mean, all the other strings come back really well to the you know tuning, except the G and E is a little bit. But I figured out a way when I you know it's hard. But then when I do a heavy bend with a G string, it's back in tune. Same with low E. When I do really big bend, it kind of goes back. So, you know, this is, I mean, I'm not gonna sound, you're not gonna sound like Eddie. If you know, get this guitar, I'm sound like myself. I mean, I'm trying to play a little bit like Eddie. And it's just so, if you're, you know, thinking of buying this guitar to sound like Eddie Van Halen, not gonna work. You know, nobody sounds like Eddie Van Halen. Nobody sounds like me. Nobody sounds like you. It's all here. But definitely the vibe and the feel is there. It's really cool to kind of play this guitar. You know what he used back in the day. I mean, not this, but you know, a replica. So that's the thing, and it's a little bit, you know, quirky because you gotta, you know, take your time to set this up correctly. There's no Floyd, nothing, but yeah, when you do that, it's actually stays surprisingly well in tune, and I wasn't aware of that what he did because I was always wondering, you know, how the hell he was able to keep the guitar in tune. I mean, kinda in tune. You know, it wasn't always, you know, in tune, but that's the way it is. So the neck is really nice feeling. I think it's a little bit thicker than on the Frankie because you know this used to be, or the Edge guitar used to, you know, became Frankie. So he changed the neck. So let's actually check out the Frankie now. Replica. Yeah, this neck is a little bit thinner. There's not that kang that brass nut thing, and I have a few tones stuff here, so more sustain and stuff, because this thing really didn't work when this was attached to the body. I needed to carve out a hole there, and I used quite, you know, I like my tension to be fairly tight, so the tuning wasn't, because it's wood, it was flying on there, it was, sometimes it was in tune, sometimes not, it was always a little bit tweaking, so I put it the stopper and the brass block, and now it's like a new guitar, amazing. Then I removed the volume, because like you probably heard, sometimes I had less gain. So the volume is on my way, the way I pick. I can't stand it. So I removed this here, and then there's push-pull knob, so now the single coil works too. You know, so this pickup is functioning. Eddie just didn't know how to connect that. So, yeah. I think this is a bit beefier, a bit darker sounding. Same pickup, a little bit thinner neck. And with the FU tone upgrades, amazing guitar. Cool. Let's get back to this one. Because now I've been playing with the Plexi, you know, it's kind of vintagey sound, a lot of power amp, because everything is on 10, but if we yeah, if we change to 50 on 50, black letter, so Plexi. On 50, nothing in between. The settings are high gain input, pre-gain 4, low 6, mid 4, 3.5, sorry, high 6, post gain, master volume 5 on both, resonance 4, presence 6. Same cabinet configuration, you know, greenbacks and V30. So it's a bit quirky. If I would buy that guitar, I probably wouldn't use the whammy, because even though it stays pretty well, but since I play kind of hard and do it just, and with my heavier strings, it's a little bit compared to this. You have the sound difference, the brass springs, that kind of metallic. Once more, 78. Yeah, there's more bite. It's, you know, the brass nut. I guess I got a little bit carried away, but at least I wasn't playing. Yeah, it was a little bit this and that, but you know. Conclusion. I really like this guitar. It feels great. It's built great. It took a little time to set it up so it stays better in tune if you're doing dive bumps. If you don't do, it stays really well in tune. It sounds kind of a bit bright, so but I think that's kind of cool. There's this bite, you know, Van Halen's first album. Probably one of the reasons was this, because it's kind of brown, but there's this bite. But anyway, so this will be on sale at Music's website. Link in the description. It's set by me. Of course, if you want to have it lighter strings, standard tuning, you can have that too. But now, you know, you can have it set up like I set up my guitars. 10 to 52, E flat, rock and roll. Hey, thanks for watching. All the best. See you on the next one. Bye.